I'm Jake with SendCutSend. We're back with another challenge accepted, and I have no idea what I'm about to design. With that, cue the idea. Just like hand it to me. All right, let's check this thing out. A whistle shaped like the banana for scale. Interesting one. First reactions, that's definitely a CNC machine part. Points if it's sheet metal. I don't think I'm gonna get those extra points. I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more. But with that, let's take it into the classroom, into CAD, and start thinking this thing through. Challenge accepted. So the challenge on this one is to make a whistle out of a banana. The first thing that came to mind is the weenie whistle that you used to have when we were kids. But if you didn't already know, we have a thing here at SendCutSend with bananas. We use them for scale. So if you import your parts in, you can have it compared to a banana to make sure that it's not coming in the wrong orientation or the wrong millimeters versus inches. Now, with that being said, the first thing that I really need to understand though is how to actually design a whistle. I've actually never done that before. So we're gonna jump onto the internet, do a little bit of quick research, figure out how to do that. Then we can start building it into our banana shape. All right, so not to reinvent the wheel, we already have a step file for this exact banana. So the banana for scale, probably it's also gonna be really a great thing to have potentially where we could make some more of these whistles. So I'm gonna make it exactly like we already do. And with that, I'm gonna bring in just the step file that we already have. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of time off of the design phase. We already have a hole up here on the top, but this is gonna turn into a square pocket and you're gonna see why here in a second. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna show our origin. We're gonna have it already split on this plane here. All right, so let's just go ahead and project the whole side of this banana onto that plane. This is gonna allow me to bisect it, cut it off, and create that half image that I'm looking for. So if I extrude it, boom, boom, we get a half a banana. Nobody likes half of a banana, but we have a half a banana. Yeah, a little bit. 7 out of 10. I like much more green than yellow though. Like a little bitter. Okay, so I have the banana in half, so I just need to create my channel. I think I can just make, so there's already like this little stem, like hole in the stem that's tapped. And that's like for like 154, so it's, I don't know, just tap like an 832 or something. I'm going to not have that tapped hole, obviously, but I'll create the channel based off of that same thing. So I'm just going to create a new sketch on that new flat surface that we have on the side here. And then I'm just going to use the top curvature of the banana and offset it. So that'll be like the direction of airflow. And then at the very bottom, I'll just create the little pocket in the corner. This is actually somewhat an easy project. Mind the fact that I had to figure out how to make a whistle. 119, so we're just gonna offset a line here. Do you think there's a way that they would be able to machine this today? I wanna blow on it. Now, just create our little circular pocket here. I might have to make this like stepped in the stem because there's not as much room for like the width. I kind of need to make the body in here wider so that I can get the ball in there because, you know, like a whistle is really wide because the ball's in there. But I'll make the first body here like an 1/8 inch deep at the top of the body here. Let's hide our sketch. Oh yeah, look at that whistle. We'll just make a full tangent spot down here so that they can come in just with a flat end mill and create a larger or a deeper pocket about halfway down. So let's project this onto our sketch. The key is probably you have to have a ball that's larger than all of the entry holes into this little area, right? Or it's gonna end up going into your little flow funnel and out the whistle. Okay, so now I just create my little whistle body. We're gonna run tangent off of this. Let's go to the board for a second. So one of the things I gotta think about on this is as this ball is spinning around, there's a transition period where it needs to like bridge this gap and not get wedged up where my whistle is. So I need to pull this corner. Let's draw this a little bit bigger. If this is like the top of my whistle and I have like my tangent point coming in to this hole here, if my ball comes up and wedges into this little gap here, one, the ball's not going to be traveling around, and it's going to block the airflow over my sharp edge here, which I believe is what's creating the whistle effect. It's either that edge or this edge. I'm going to make both of them, hoping one of them makes a whistle noise. So I need to pull those together and make sure that this steel ball that I'm putting in there is going to create that nice turbulence spin. Right now, I think I have too large of a gap, so I need to make a quick change in here and pull everything over. Need this dimension, essentially from that point to that to be, I'm gonna have, say, a 1/4 inch ball in there. I need to be like 200, right? So it's not gonna get wedged up in there. It's traveling. Then I can pull this top edge back. That also gives me room. Actually, let's make it a little bit smaller, even 150-ish. So we can still get our 1/8 inch end mill through there. Who gave us this request? I'm gonna write them a strongly worded letter. Oh, it's gonna work. Don't worry about that. I'm not worried it's not gonna work. All right, we're getting close. I actually have the whistle pretty much designed. It's just mostly making sure my ball doesn't get stuck in the hole, in the gap. Oh yeah, I think that'll work. That looks good. You guys want to see the whistle?
Like Eye of the Tiger or something like that?
No.
To manufacture, you idiot.
The whistle part is a whistle, I think. I'm now making the little, I need to make a male and female like little pin system that it's going to have some tap holes on the one side, and the other side is just a through hole to screw it together. Because in order to make this be a completely closed shape, like one piece body again, the best way to like line them up is to have like a pin style deal. And I'm just gonna make it so that the center of those pins are also threaded. So they're gonna be like a little dual purpose. They're gonna be locating, and then they're also going to tighten back up, creating one solid body again. We'll have just that little tiny seam or witness mark across the entire outside of the banana. But you know, if we get this anodized, we're gonna end up losing that seam a little bit. It's going to have a nice look. So by pin, we come over here to the board. What I'm going to do is create, if this is one side of my banana, and this is, actually I'll draw this in a different color so you can kind of see a little bit better. So brown. Oh, those are kind of similar colors. I'll leave a little gap there though so you can see it. What I'm gonna do is create a body in 2 different places. That's like a pin design. And inside of that is going to be my threads on both. And then on the other side of my banana, I'm going to create the negative or the female of that pin on both. And I'm gonna have a through hole, probably with like a tapered flathead screw, so that when I smash the 2 together, I put the screw through there. The pins locate the banana, make our seams really nice and pretty, and the screws hold the 2 halves together. I think we can just get away with 2 mounting locations on this. I'm going to run it on the actual seam of the banana as well. So this little seam here, on one side we're gonna have nothing, on the other side we're gonna actually have a flathead screw there. Just to have it nice cosmetically kind of centered in the banana. Last time I said hot dogs a lot, and this time I'm saying banana. We have our 2 halves. We have our hole on the end on our stem. Now I just need to create my threaded holes on the one. We're gonna end up having blind threaded holes, so we need to make sure that we have enough depth on our drill to go down so that we have enough threads to have full engagement. I'm gonna use 832 threads on this, just a quick, easy screw that we can pick up at the hardware store while we're picking up our steel ball that's gonna go in to create our turbulence. Let's grab that. We're gonna use the hole feature here. So we'll just do a projection to get our centers of the 2 spots. And let's go with a tapped hole for a number 8 size. Trying to keep it cosmetic on the one side so we don't see the threads. We can actually go almost 5/8 of an inch deep without breaking through. So that should be plenty of threads for what we're trying to do here. Let's create an offset plane. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just do a countersunk screw. That'll be a little bit easier for us to machine as well, since we have all these curvatures on this outside. If we end up doing a flat head screw or a tapered top to these 2 holes here on our mounting locations, what it's gonna end up kind of costing us on that is that we don't have like a good location in order for that center to kind of come in and make contact. So what we can do instead is we can do a countersink or a counter bore instead of a countersink. So we're gonna make a square bodied indention in here that we'll just have 2 button head screws that does our locating. Since we're having the pins doing a lot of the orientation location, what we can do is just have those buttons come in there. It'll be easier for the machining side of this process. So now that I have my construction, let's go ahead and select that. We will extrude our hole locations to that. Sorry, I'm thinking really hard right now. So this is gonna be very similar to like a squirt gun type situation where you have like the 2 halves of a squirt gun that come out of those molds. You put them together and you just put the screws in. That creates that cavity and stuff on the inside. So we're gonna end up seeing a very similar style on this to those traditional squirt guns. All right, I have this completely modeled up from the CNC perspective. I think on this one right here, let's go ahead and give it a go, see if it whistles. I have the banana together, so it's now the moment of truth to see if it's actually a whistle. Oh, it's gonna work. Don't worry about that. I'm not worried it's not gonna work. Well, clearly it's not as easy as I thought. This is definitely challenged, failed. But I'm gonna come back with part 2 on this, and we're gonna redesign this to make it actually a whistle. If you know what I did wrong, drop it in the comments below. And to get your parts made, drag or drop that step file or DXF onto SendCutSend.com. We'll see you on the next one.